What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, and I hope you're all doing well today. Patch 10.05 is finally here, or rather right around the corner as I'm putting this up about a day in advance. With it is coming a slew of features, and none of which have been more hotly discussed in endgame content than the Revival Catalyst. This video is a breakdown to how the Catalyst works, where to find it, and how to use it. Please keep in mind this footage and testing was done on the public test ROM prior to the launch of patch 10.05 on retail servers, and any potential inconsistencies will be corrected in the pinned comment down in the comments section of this video, since I can't exactly go back in time to change the video once it's up on YouTube. This video is also timestamped so you can jump around to any information you're more interested in hearing about. So with that preamble out of the way, I guess explaining the Catalyst's purpose is a pretty good place to start this guide. The Revival Catalyst is a way to convert certain pieces of gear that you've earned at level 70 into Dragonflight tier armor pieces. Tier armor pieces give unique set bonuses for each class and specialization in WoW, offering things such as increased damage on certain abilities, stat buffs, and various other bonuses to your character. Tier has undergone many changes throughout WoW's lifetime, with the current iteration having 5 gear slots that offer tier set bonuses. These slots are helmets, shoulders, chests, gloves, and legs. If you're lucky, you may have already earned some of these tier armor pieces either from raiding in the Vault of the Incarnates, or from your Great Vault, which rewards players who participate in Mythic Plus Keystones, raid, or raided PvP. Whether or not you've been lucky in your vault though, the Revival Catalyst will give you a way to convert gear earned from endgame content in Dragonflight into tier armor pieces. Blizzard has put out a recent article listing all of the different types of gear that you can convert in the Catalyst, and it's actually a pretty impressive selection. Basically, anybody who's participating in endgame content at level 70 should be able to get these tier armor pieces. Except like pet battlers or people who only play the auction house for money, I guess. The gear sources include Mythic Plus dungeons, Vault of the Incarnates, the epic gear from the Elemental Storm vendor, epic War Mode vendor gear, world bosses, and anything you can earn from your Great Vault. To find the Revival Catalyst, you'll need to head over to Thaldraszus. Kornos, that big stone watcher fella that hangs out by the dragon aspects at the top of the tower in Valdrakken, should have a breadcrumb quest called Reviving the Machine, and this will send you off to search for the Catalyst. You'll need to fly over to Tierhold, and to the north side of that huge tower in the center, you should see a doorway jutting out of the mountain, and inside of there you'll find the NPC Antuka. Now, converting gear via the Catalyst involves the dreaded T-word, time gating. Before people get all their pitchforks out and start banging down the doors to Blizzard HQ, let me at least explain how this process works. Each week, you'll have the ability to earn a charge for the Catalyst, and this charge is consumed when you convert a regular endgame item into a tier item, so you'll need to choose.
Choose wisely.
You can accrue up to a total of 6 charges at any time, so once you reach 6, you'll need to spend some to be able to earn any more. Antuka will have the account-wide quest simply titled Revival Catalyst, which rewards your weekly Catalyst charge by filling up a progress bar. Filling the bar requires you to participate in certain activities, such as raiding, dungeons, battlegrounds, arenas, or world content. Confirmed world content sources include things like the Assault on Dragonbane Keep, Grand Hunts, killing rares at the Primal Storms, and the new Storm's Fury event that takes place in the Primalist future. Each of these activities does reward a specific percentage of credit towards your weekly completion, and I don't know all of them off the top of my head, so any of the ones that I do know, I'm going to leave in that pinned comment in the comment section, so that way you have an idea of which one to go after. Now, it is kind of irksome that you can only get 1 charge per week, but there are some positives to this system. Earning charges for the Catalyst is an account-wide unlock, and so is the quest progress from my testing on the PTR. This means that if you have just one main character, you can binge and do all the stuff and fill up the bar on just one character and it helps all your alts, or if you play multiple characters, then each of those characters doing stuff will help fill up that bar simultaneously, and you all still get credit for a charge for each character too. Supposedly, this also gives you credit to any future characters you get to level 70 as well, so for people with lots of alts or planning to level more stuff later on in the expansion, this is pretty cool. But for one-trick ponies like myself, it's kinda not that big of a deal. The process is a lot more time-consuming than the original version of the Catalyst from the Shadowlands, where we just automatically got charges every week and didn't have to do any extra stuff. But I guess if you're already going out and trying to do content to get gear that you want to convert in the Catalyst, then you're gonna do it anyways. It's just for people that already have a ton of gear they've been holding on to since the beginning of the expansion, it kind of just busy work, essentially, since you already had all the gear you needed. Regardless, now that you know what the Catalyst is, Where it's located and what you can use in it, I'll show you how it works. The UI is very simple, with one slot on the left being where your Season 1 Dragonflight gear goes in, and on the right it'll show the resulting piece of gear you will receive once converted. Any gear that you convert in the Catalyst will always have specific stats based on the armor slot that you're converting and your character class. This does give the Catalyst a second purpose though if you already have all your tier armor pieces, because if you happen to have a piece of high item level gear that you've been holding onto that had really bad stats, you might want to take a look to see what it converts into in the Catalyst, because depending on your class, it might actually have way better stats for whatever you're trying to get. I'll leave a link to the Wowhead article that should show all the secondary stat allotments based on character class for the Catalyst conversion set. Do note that any tertiary stats or sockets will persist when you convert the item, so if you have a socketed helmet in your inventory, then it will become a socketed tier helmet when you convert it. I generally recommend converting tier item slots first if you don't already have your tier set bonus, as that's the main benefit of the Catalyst. However, it can be used later on for getting better statted gear on smaller pieces like belts, boots, cloaks, and bracers. The Catalyst only works on armor, by the way, so you can't convert rings, necks, weapons, or trinkets. This can also be used as a way to complete transmog collections if you're missing specific pieces, though I'm not certain yet on the exact item level ranges each piece needs to be in to give you the correct color that matches the raid set difficulties. If I find out, I'll be sure to include it in the pinned comment that I always leave on these videos that I've mentioned a few times already, otherwise your guess is as good as mine right now. That's about all there is to the Revival Catalyst, really. Do content, put stuff in, get different stuff out, wait a week, and do it again. While I have personal opinions on the timing of release and the process by which the system works, that isn't really the purpose of this video, so I hope this rundown of the Revival Catalyst proves useful to you in the coming months of Dragonflight Season 1. If you have any questions, then feel free to leave a comment on this video and I'll do my best to answer them. As always, my appreciation and gratitude to all of my viewers, subscribers, patrons over on Patreon, and Twitch subs. You folks all help make these Shiba Shenanigans possible. Thank you all so very much for watching. This is the Red Rogue, and I'll see you guys around.